Nolan, good to see you. Happy Rothtober. Today we get to talk about 3 considerations before making a Roth conversion. Roth accounts are an amazing tool when it comes to creating wealth. Roth IRAs are not subject to probate and can pass onto your heirs tax-free. So if you are debating a Roth conversion, first you need to consider, what will your future tax rate be?
Thanks, Erin. And this is one of the hardest questions that I think most people have to answer with retirement,
Right.
because it's a lot of supposing and who's going to do what. I don't know if we know 100% sure, but I think there's a general consensus that most people are going to be paying more taxes in the future than they are today. So, even in retirement, once your Social Security is most of your income and you end up being in a lower income tax bracket, that bracket may increase over time. We tend to be in pretty low tax rates right now. And I think most of us have felt over the past few years, in addition to taxes, there's also inflation and other things that you kind of have to work against a little bit. So future tax rates are most important.
Right. Next, ask yourself when you'll need access to those funds.
Thanks. And this is obviously number 2 for a reason. You have to not only determine how much you're comfortable paying in taxes or when you want to pay those taxes, but when you plan on accessing your money. Now, a lot of people with a lot of money in pre-tax accounts who never plan on accessing their retirement funds, they may have no real purpose in having a Roth conversion. I mean, if they're not planning on accessing it and the only money they'll take out is required minimum distributions, it may be relatively minimal income. But if tax rates double, they may want to reconsider that, and everybody's situation might be a little different in that regard.
And then last, when considering a conversion, it comes down to one important question. Do you want to pay the taxes on the account, or do you want your beneficiaries to pay the taxes? And then you have to think about, what will their future tax rate be?
Right. And I think your retirement taxes may be a little bit lower, but if you are to pass an IRA on to your beneficiaries and it's not in a Roth IRA, for those that don't know, there's a 10-year spend down rule. So if you are to pass on an IRA or 401k to your beneficiaries, they have to liquidate that whole account within 10 years. So if you're passing on an IRA to your beneficiaries and they're working and they have to spend down this IRA over the time frame that they're working, they may be paying a ton of money in taxes on the money that they've inherited and may lose out on a huge amount of the money that you intend for them to get. Whereas if it's in a Roth, they are not taxed when they take money out of it, and there's no 10-year spend down rule. At least at this point. So very few rules, I guess, for beneficiaries surrounding inheriting Roth IRAs, and they're typically a little bit more tax efficient as well.
Right. And last, a vital piece of information when considering a Roth conversion, and the reason why we're having this conversation today, Nolan, is that we are living in a historically low tax rate. Many financial experts believe the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 reduced federal income tax rates to the lowest they may ever be, and those cuts are set to expire at the end of 2025.
Right. And what we look at with this chart is the highest marginal tax rate. And we can see right now that that's just a little bit between 35 and 40%, 37% right now. The highest it ever was back in World War II, when they were doing significant easing of debt and funding different things that we had to do to boost the economy. So taxes were very, very high for quite some time. But you can see it's been decades of very, very low highest taxes, and there's the expectation that that will correct over time. We also have to deal with at the end of 2025 into 2026, if the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 isn't renewed, we are set already to go back to higher tax brackets than we are in right now. So we used to have 10, 15, 25% tax brackets. It's now 10, 12, and 22. Well, in 2026, it's set to go right back to where it was, and our higher standard deduction goes away too, and we go back to having exemptions. So we'll see what happens over the next couple of years. We may have a unique opportunity right now before taxes are already scheduled to go up to do a little bit of Roth conversions, but certainly I think over the next 5, 10, 15 years is probably prime opportunity while taxes are relatively low to take advantage of this strategy.
Right. Certainly, it's going to be a unique answer for everyone as to whether a Roth is right for them, but everybody should at least be crunching the numbers. So, Nolan, if somebody wants to do the math with you, what's the best way to reach you?
So they can call our office at 616-301-2581 or go to our website. It's cornerstone-rp.com. There's a contact us box at the bottom of the page.
Great. Nolan, thank you.
Thank you.